Good evening from Warsaw, Poland. We are live in the 2025 Chopin Piano Competition. My name is Rachel Naomi KUDO. We have heard so far 43 of our 84 pianists playing in the first round of this exciting competition. Thank you so much for tuning in and staying with us. I hope that during this intermission you'll stay and get to know 4 of our pianists who have already played beautifully their first round performances. I have the pleasure of introducing to you Yanyan Bao, Fanze Yang, Diana Cooper, and Athena Deng. Thank you all for being with us, and I hope we can have a fun conversation now about the competition, about your love for Chopin, and what brought you here, your journeys all the way to this big stage. So. My first question is, I guess, about this competition that brought us all together. Do you remember when you first heard about the competition? What age? Was it a documentary, some footage, some pianist maybe you heard? Diana?
Well, I think I first heard about it when I was about 12 years old, I think. It was through my very first piano teacher in my hometown in France. He lent me the recording of Piotrkiewicz-Błazik's performance of Chopin's concerto in E minor during the final stage, or maybe the laureate's concert. And so obviously I watched that a few years after he had won the competition, but I remember being fascinated by the whole event and by his performance, and I think that was the point when I started thinking about this competition, dreaming about it, and dreaming about taking part one day myself.
Oh, beautiful.
It's a big event, yeah.
Yanyan, do you remember when you first heard about the competition?
So my mom was a piano teacher, so I think she had a recording of the 2000 Chopin competition. So
where Yundi Lee was the first
Yeah.
prize winner, yes,
Yeah.
I see.
So I knew that because actually Sachin and Yundi Lee both won prizes in that
That's right.
competition. So
But how old were you then? You must have been...
I was
Yeah.
not born yet.
Okay, you were not born yet. Oh, but you saw the footage, of course.
Yes.
Okay, I
So I
understand.
heard the recording.
Okay, because I know you're only 18.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my
okay.
mom told me about the competition, so.
Oh, goodness. Oh, I remember that's actually the first competition, the Chopin competition I saw too, on VHS 2000. With all the winners, and that was kind of the inspiration that started for me too. Fanze, your mother is also a piano teacher, and also your father is a music teacher.
Yeah, I was a teacher.
That's amazing. So was also your inspiration quite early on for the competition?
See the competition. When I was 5 or 6 years old, my father liked to listen to classical music, and he also take me together to watch the video or just listen to the CD or just something, So I touched this competition, and it was too early, so I can't remember so clear. But I just know one pianist in Chopin competition when I was a kid.
Oh.
Yeah,
Who was
he's
that?
Yundi Lee. Yeah, you know that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I was, it's my first time to play Chopin. It's maybe in 8 or 9 years old. Yeah, and I like it so much. Yeah, and so today I decided to attend this competition. Yeah.
Do you remember that piece? What was that?
The first piece? Maybe it's in Nocturne, but I don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember?
Yeah,
But-
maybe a Nocturne.
Maybe a nocturne.
Yes.
Athena, what about you?
I can relate to that experience because I grew up in China also, and I remember when I was starting out in piano, I was already hearing about Yundi Lee, and I think for a lot of kids, he was some kind of role model back then. Yeah, especially for Chopin.
I think in the competition's history, I believe he was the first pianist from China to take this coveted first prize. So I think it inspired a lot of young pianists, particularly maybe in Asia. How did it feel to be on stage? So you dream about it, we're kids, and of course we're still growing. But how did it feel to finally walk on that stage? Was it exciting, scary?
First, okay, it's just like dream. Yeah, you know what? Because I watch a lot of video that's in this stage when I work on it. So you know, it's not real for me. Maybe you can feel that. Yeah, and I'm so excited and very nervous at the beginning because this is some new pieces for me because I prepare for just a short time for this competition. So really, I'm really nervous.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but in the end, just like in the waltz or when I play ballad, I was so enjoying that because the voicing and the vision, is very perfect to me.
I see. Diana, how did it feel for
Yes,
you?
I think a lot of mixed feelings, of course a lot of emotion, because it's a moment that we've been preparing for so long and dreaming about for so long. The pressure is very high and you want to give your best, obviously. So you get pretty nervous being on that stage in front of such a big audience besides, with no free space in the hall. It's kind of impressive, but also so moving and exciting to be living one's dream.
Yeah. I think I felt, when I was first walking onto that stage, it felt like an embrace almost because the hall was very warm and I don't know, the space just felt very inviting. And up until the very first note I played, I was feeling very calm. But then I think as soon as my fingers touched the keys, I think I felt my body must have registered the weight of the crippling weight of the just the stage, the competition, everything historical. So I think I kind of shook under that a little bit, and the beginning was not so good, but then I think I slowly kind of melded into the environment.
Oh, well, I couldn't tell at all. All four of you looked so calm and poised and at ease, and that was so beautiful to witness. Yanyan, do you have any thoughts about how your first stage was?
I think it was a happy moment that I was able to share music with all the audiences in Poland and all the people who are watching the live stream. I felt pretty happy with my first round, and I think it was a very good performance considering the musicality and the focusedness I had.
That's great. I'm glad. That's the best feeling when you're happy with your own performance. I'd like to ask about your repertoire choices because I think for any pianist or anyone who would think about competing in an event like this, of course, you can't help but to think there are elimination rounds, and the first round could be the most important because they're the most of you. And I noticed that the two of you played the second ballade, and the two of you chose the first ballade. And we were just running through the statistics that the first ballade was actually the least chosen in this competition this time. Only 9 of you chose it, and the second ballade, there's a little bit more of you, but still not the most popular. So would you mind sharing with us if there was a reason for this? Is this maybe your favorite Chopin piece, or is it something that speaks to you in a certain way? Do you have any memories or something you can share with us?
You see the favorite pieces?
Or maybe with the first ballade, if there's a reason why, special reason.
Okay.
You ended your
Yeah,
performance
because
with it.
I have played all of the blood, so first one is my favorite one. Yeah, because number 4 is a little bit difficult for me, so I choose the first one. But the musical, some things for me is I think I like it much. Yeah. And favorite pieces. I have a lot of pieces. I like them because, all of pieces of Chopin is too beautiful. Yeah.
I see.
And I like Nocturne very much. Yeah.
Well, I mean, sorry, can I just say, so you've played all 4 ballades. I know
Yes.
you've all played the 24 etudes.
Yes.
And you play the Liszt Transcendental etudes,
Yes.
all 12, and you're 16.
Yes.
I mean, what are your parents feeding you? Because I would like some of,
No.
some of this incredible
Because
learning.
when I was in preliminary school, I don't have something to do. So I just practice. But they don't know what pieces is very important for me. So just they said you can just practice that. So I play a lot of etudes.
Oh, so you just learned what you wanted to.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. Diana, do you have a reason for the second ballade, or
Well, I think it was kind of an intuitive choice.
you
choice from the
started your
heart.
performance with this too, which
Yes, I did, I did.
I kind of mentioned, yeah.
It's true. I love this ballad. I mean, I love them. I love the 4 of them. In this second ballad, I think I love this contrast and this ambivalence between those very contrasting moods that the ballad sets, between this very calm, soft mood at the beginning, and then suddenly this outburst of emotions coming out in the second part. And well, I mean, the choice I think just came from the heart. It was. It's not a rational choice.
Yeah. Athena, also you chose the second ballad, but you started your performance and you
Yes.
ended.
Yes.
For me, actually my favorite ballad out of all 4 that I've played before was the 4th one. But the second one is the most lived in for me, because I think it's not a conscious choice, but it's more like psychologically I connect to the polarity of the sections, and also since it's dedicated to Schumann, and I love Schumann's music very much, and I think it kind of reflects the characters in Schumann's music as well. So yeah, I think that's why I chose.
That turbulence.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this sudden contrast
Yeah, the
between
stormy.
the moods. So
And I loved how you did them differently. You started your program with it and ended with a waltz. And it was the opposite for you, where you started with a beautiful G major nocturne that's not played so much, this beautiful, very sunny duet, and then you ended more in a darker space with the second ballade. But we enjoyed your performances, both of them, equally. Yanyan, any thoughts about your first ballade? Is that your favorite, or does it resonate with you?
So actually, I also but read all the 4 ballades, and I feel least confident with the second ballade. So I actually arranged my rep. So for my recording round, I played the 3rd ballade, and then for my first round, I chose first ballade, and for second round, I will play the 4th ballade.
Oh, I see. So you wanted to play this,
Yeah.
so you planned it this way,
Yeah.
but omitting the second one.
Yeah.
I see. Why do you feel not so comfortable with that one?
Actually, not like in all 4, but I feel like because for recording round, we have to play either 3rd ballade or second ballade. I just felt more comfortable playing the 3rd
Yeah.
one.
Yes, yes.
And then my favorites are the 1st and 4th. So I feel like I should play both of them.
Yeah. Oh, very good.
Competition, so.
Very good ideas. Yes, and I can't wait to hear your 4th ballade next round. Is there one favorite Chopin piece of yours? If you could name one.
Holnay's Fantasy.
Holidays Fantasy. What about you, Fanze?
I don't know.
You said Nocturne
Yeah,
before.
Nocturne, yeah,
Nocturne.
a lot of.
Diane and Athena, what about you? Do you have one favorite piece?
I think it depends on my moods. It changes every day or every
It changes
week.
every day. Okay.
No,
and right now?
Right now, difficult to say. I mean, I think I've got favorite passages in each work, but I have to say the Polonaise Fantasy, which I've been, learning for the competition, it's kind of a new piece to me, and I've been discovering it more in depth, and it's such an incredible, rich, complete piece with so many different moods, and we can feel that it's a late work as well, with such maturity and so many. It's like his whole life, which is expressed in one work. So yeah, it is quite incredible.
Oh, that's beautifully said. Yes, I mean, it has a lot of his elements right in that
Yeah,
one 13-minute
yes.
piece. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Athena, what about you?
I would say I discover a little bit something new every time I listen to Chopin. I've been kind of digging through CDs and I found the Bolero, which I have in a later round. And also, but I think no matter what I discover, I feel like at the end of the day, I always keep coming back to one piece that I haven't learned yet, and it's the Berceuse. I love it so much.
Oh my goodness. So we won't be hearing that in the competition, but that's your
Yes.
Oh,
I love
beautiful.
listening to it.
I love that piece too, and people rarely play it in the competition. But I know that Yanyan and Diana, you both programmed it. Can you maybe talk about why that piece is in your program? Why something drew you? I mean, it's such a beautiful work, but very delicate.
Sorry, which one?
Berceuse?
Versus.
You're playing it.
Yes.
Yes, and so is Diana.
Yes, yes.
And that's not so popular, I would say, to program it in the competition. Is there any reason for that? Is that something you learned for the competition, or?
Personally, I didn't learn it, especially for the competition. but
It was a part of your repertoire.
Yes,
right?
and I think it's very contrasting with other works by Chopin. It's a short moment of quietness and calmness. So between two pieces which require a lot of energy, maybe that one is a good one to change moods, both for the performer and for the audience. Yes.
What about you, Yanyan?
Well, I think because I'm playing the D flat major nocturne, and the
You
vers-
did, yes.
and the verses is also D flat major, so it might be interesting to have to start with.
Oh, interesting. I see. So you plan to start that round with the Berceuse.
Also, they're both D flat major, and they're both slow and very intimate pieces, but they're so different. So I think it's very interesting to see how similar and different they are.
And it was very interesting for me because three of you played the D flat nocturne, and then I know Athena, you played the G major. Is that your favorite nocturne, Fanze? You love nocturnes, and there are many beautiful ones.
Maybe, yeah.
Could be your favorite.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that one is quite special, and very contrasting with the C sharp minor, which is also very popular. Opus 27, number 1. Maybe we can talk about concertos, if we can skip. Who chose E minor and who chose F minor?
E minor for me.
Oh, E minor.
E minor too, yes.
Yanyan?
F minor.
Athena, you chose F minor.
Yes.
Okay, so we have again a split panel. Would you like to share with us your reasons behind that? Is that your preferred concerto, or you've performed it, or you would like to perform it?
I learned both concertos, and I performed the second one more, also because I feel like the second one is, I don't know how to say, but more twisted and maybe obviously darker.
Okay. Yes, I understand.
Because I know the first one is more open, it's bigger, but also it's not happy, but
Yes, no, and then I mean the darkness in the F minor, yes.
yeah, I think I feel more comfortable playing that one.
The F minor.
I love the E minor one. I love listening to the E minor one, but also I think it's very popular. I think it's more popular, so I think maybe the F minor would be more like my vibe.
Your voice. I like that, your vibe. Athena also?
Yeah, I feel that too. I think because this is the single Chopin work that's been with me for the longest out of any Chopin I've played. I think I learned it back when I was maybe just many years ago, and I've played it for. Played it and come back to it and performed it with different orchestras. So I find something new every time I come back to it. And also I think it's the more elusive of the two concertos. So that's why I like it.
And let's defend E minor now, or not defend, but let's talk about E minor.
E minor, yeah, just one reason, because in the F minor there are some deeper things that I can understand, and my technique is not very well to play that.
Okay.
So just one reason, so I choose the first one, E minor. Yeah.
I see. You feel more comfortable with it. Yeah. And Diana?
Well, very simply, I haven't worked the second concerto, and the first one I discovered first as well. Also, I maybe fell in love with the piece even more when I discovered the Chopin competition through Raphael Blechach. So maybe that had also an impact on the way I approach it. And I don't know, there's so much freshness in it, brilliance, and so much.
Very celebratory. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. A lot of joy comes out of these pages.
If you could play one piece for Chopin, what could it be?
Nocturne.
The Nocturne?
Nocturne.
The D flat?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. What about you?
Maybe Nocturne.
Okay.
Too, yes.
But if it would be playing to Chopin to get his advice, maybe a mazurka, because this is maybe one of the most particular genres and most unique to Chopin. So, and people say that.
But which mazurka?
Which mazurka? Maybe Opus 30 number 4 then. It's got some emotion which is indescribable. I think Polish people name it żal.
Yes, yes.
So
sadness.
It seems like this mazurka really reflects that very deeply.
Athena?
For me, I would say the preludes. I learned recently that he composed them in a time of personal turmoil. And I'm just very curious to see how he really feels about each one of them, because I know the names were given later on, they were not.
The titles, yes.
Yeah, the titles.
And if you could hear Chopin play one piece?
Preludes.
The preludes, the whole set. That would be, wow, what a treat that would be, yeah.
Mazurkas.
Mazurka.
Mazurkas.
What about you?
Well, I think both answers are good. Yeah, preludes would be a...
Yeah, if we could hear the 40 minutes. Yeah, not just one, but...
That's true. Well, the whole sets of mazurkas in that case.
That would be, incredible.
I agree.
Mazurkas and preludes. That would be lovely. Is there anything you'd like to share with the audience before you move on to the next round? Maybe, I don't know, there's family, friends that support you. No, I think a lot of them are here, some of them, for you. I know your parents are here.
Yeah, my father.
It's amazing that they can follow anywhere, but to be here is quite special. Is there something that you look forward to in the next round, particularly, like a particular piece from the second round repertoire?
I'm playing the Opus 34 number 2 waltz.
The A minor.
Yeah, the A minor waltz, which is one of my favorite waltz.
Oh, wow.
And I don't expect too many people to play it, so I look forward to it.
We look forward to hearing that. Fanze, what about you? Any piece from your second stage that you're...
The second stage, I choose Barcarolle. Yeah, it's a big challenge for me, so I want to try that.
Oh, that's exciting. Wow. Diana?
Well, I'm playing the Andante Spianato and Con Polonaise to end the program, and that's the piece which I always find very exhilarating to play to perform on stage. So. But it's not the only one.
Okay,
yeah,
of course. But it is the piece that will end your program.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
And that's, of course, very exciting. Athena, what about you?
I'm looking forward to playing all 24 preludes.
Have you played them before?
I've performed them twice before, the whole way through, and both, it's been different. It's been different each time.
can imagine. Do you feel? I mean, I've never played them, not as a set, but I can just imagine that it might change you.
Yeah.
Every time you play through the cycle from the C major to the D minor, something, those molecules, yeah, you really go through a journey. Well, thank you all so much for spending some time with us. I think we really enjoyed getting to know you. I hope you'll have some time to relax tonight. Do you have any big plans? Gonna go out? No, just stay in and relax. Practice? Okay. Okay, so we are going to wrap up now. Thank you so much to everybody who has stayed with us again. We are right in the middle of the first round of the 2025 Chopin Piano Competition. Day 3 is wrapping up to a close. We have 4 more pianists following this intermission and 2 more days of this round until we find out the names of the pianists who will be advancing. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay tuned. Take care. Thank you.